G'day, hi, this is Julie, welcome to my channel. And today I thought I would make some texture plates. I did make some before, but I'm not 100% happy with them because I sometimes get the lines at the edges, so I need to do it a little bit differently. They do sort of work, but as I say, when you press into the jelly plate you sometimes get the edges, so and they're hard to lift up. So I probably can fix that one, because this cardboard's quite thin, so you want to have not too much edge around your texture plate, so that it just presses onto the plate. So I can probably fix this one and make this one work quite well. Cut off the excess cardboard, and then only the squares will press onto the plate, hopefully. And then the other thing I'm going to do, I need to get a bin nearby. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not in my study. I'm not in my little craft room. I've taken all day to set up the lights, the camera, and the dining table with all jelly stuff. So I'm going to do a few days of making plates and jelly printing en masse out here. Well, I've got some space because my little room is A, it's a mess, and B, it's overcrowded. So I need to have a big clear out so that I can, go back to working in my craft room. I haven't really been in there much because it really isn't, very conducive. Probably should move these plates because they're very shiny. Sorry about that. I can see the TV in the lounge, but I can't, it's not really close. So I'm going to hope that I'm in frame most of the time. So that should make that, when I press it on the plate, it hasn't got too much edging. And then the other thing is lifting it up, so that's a problem. So I've got this tape which I'm hoping is going to work. So just basically going to fold that in half and make a little kind of pickup loop and pop that on there. So a little lifter. We either test them as we go or we test them all at the end. Let's test them all at the end, that might be easier. They're just little foam circles and squares. I bought from a craft shop. They had circles, squares and triangles in different shapes. So I just bought the packs, they were just $2, little pieces of foam, and they actually have their stickers on the back, but I think I did put more glue on them. If I did them again, I might put two together to give them some height so that there's a little bit more gap. They can fold down out of the way and still be flat. How cool is that? All right, so they're the two I already had. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is looking through my goodies, see what I've got, and we're going to make some more. Okay, this is one that they came on the corner. I put a shelf up, or my dad did, and these were the protectors on the corners of the shelf. And I thought, oh, shapes, triangles. And these I got for, I don't know, was it $4 for $1 or $4 for 4? I can't remember. But they're almost like little coasters. It's a craft piece. Oh yeah, coaster rectangle. So they're little rectangles that you can get in Bunnings, and very sturdy. So I thought they were ideal. So we'll use this side. So I thought we'd just glue these down. I've opened up. Now what I did was I've kind of sanded the edges. You don't want any sharp edges, and you only want to use, plastic, fabric, foam, cardboardy things, softish wood. You don't want to use any metal or anything sharp, so I don't want it too patterned. Okay, something like that maybe. I want angles. Okay, and I've got my glue gun, which I've never used, so this is going to be interesting. So I thought I would just don't know if I needed that much glue, but because I really want it to be the same height, so I'm just going to squish that down so that it's relatively flat. Oh, okay. Yeah, don't want to get glue on your fingers, Joy. That's kind of why I haven't used a glue gun, because I just didn't trust myself, especially in my small craft room, because I assumed I would be a bit sort of messy and not very careful. Probably what I'll do also is coat this in gel medium just to sort of make sure there's no rough edges. So yeah, probably the glue gun is a good idea for this project because you're going to get an instant stick. You don't have to wait too long. Let's see, I should have thought about where this is going. Just want it to be randomly different. I'm hoping, let's do this and try and get them all to be level. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is coat them in gel medium. Okay, we'll leave that one to dry and we'll see how that one goes. I'll be back with whatever we're making next. Okay, I got these at a op shop, I think. I assume they were originally part of a game. I don't know. Randomly put these on, and I want to try to keep them flush with the board. Oops. Oh, it can go there. Right. I don't think I'll coat these with gel medium. I think they should be fine. So it's really easy to make your own mark making tools. I see a lot of people using special plates, printing mark making plates that you can buy. It's kind of not that easy for us in Australia to buy because of the delivery costs, and sometimes they don't post to Australia anyway. So I get all disappointed. I go to a website and think, oh yeah, I'll order. I don't like that one being all 3 in a row. Not too late. You can't change them apparently. No, this glue sticks very, very well apparently. Sort of random. Maybe one more over here. So easy, isn't it? A glue gun and some bits and bobs from an op shop or hardware store. I mean, if I went looking for these little round circles, I wouldn't be able to find them. It's just, I had them in my stash, but they're too thick, obviously, to use for anything else. Don't really know why I bought them. Okay, there we go. We now have a very sturdy. I think that should work just great. All right, what else can we make? Now I've got these. Every time you put a new shower curtain up, I just buy cheap plastic, the cheap ones, because they just go yucky so quickly. So when I replace a shower curtain, I always end up with lots of rings left over. So I was going to throw them out and thought, well, I don't know, can we use these? Okay, anyway, so we'll just use, this is not going to make very many on there. I'm going to get 3, trying not to get it on my finger. Enough to glue it down. Okay. Oh, that's right, that's the other thing we've got to do. We're going to make one with the glue gun. So that's another little easy one to do. I don't want to run out of those boards because these boards look like they're going to be really good. I might have to go to Bunnings and get some more. Thing is, I don't think you actually need it everywhere because it's not going to move. The glue is so strong. Just want it to be randomly different. There we go. Oh, that makes it just so easy to make with this. I was using gel medium to glue them on last time. A, that's probably more expensive, and B, you've got to wait for it to dry. This dries instantly. Okay, I'll just do my little thing on the back. All right, that's another one done. One other idea is that you use your glue gun. I don't want to get it on my finger, so I'm going to make a little holder already. I hope you can see okay. It's strange not being in my craft room. So now I can hold that now and it won't move so much. Hopefully you can see. So the idea of this is to just make patterns. I'm kind of trying to make it similar in height. I'm going to try one out, and I think I'll just make one of these and test it because I may not have the technique quite right. I just saw this today, sorry. I have watched some Robin McClendon videos, but one of my subscribers, sorry, I don't remember which one it was just one I just did just now, mentioned, and I watched it, and I'd already seen this technique before, where you put a pattern with a glue gun, but that reminded me I had forgotten. So thank you. Always happy to have suggestions of either video ideas or or videos to watch that because I'm learning, we're all learn from each other. So I'm just trying to do random, nothing the same, just random marks. Now people who have a silicone plate can put that down and then peel it off, but I don't have one. So I'm not too sure what I could use to flatten it with. I think if I stick it to this, it's probably going to stick to it. I'll give it a try. Flat and then lift. It might just create more texture. So I need a silicone plate. So I'm just going to squish that flat a little bit. Because it's nearly dry, it shouldn't stick. So yeah, silicone. I haven't got that silicone plate. So we're going to test this before I make another one. And we'll see whether that's working or not. It's textury. It's one to test out, isn't it? It's got a little handle. That one's ready to go. What next? So the other thing, I know it's more circles, but something that you can find at home. If you can't find, something like this, in a craft shop or whatever, then or the foam pieces, then you can always just collect circles, lids. Collect circles, collect lids. I've been collecting lids and circular things. So that one, I just use that one as it is. That one doesn't need to be attached to anything. But the trouble is, you do need to have them the same size. Oh, that's right. I got these from some paints. These were on the top of the acrylic paints that I recently bought. So they're all the same size. So let's use those. Maybe I can have some solid and some up that way. All right. What boards have I got left? I've got another board here. So I'm thinking about doing them so you end up with a bit more of a mixture than just solid circles. Some down, some up. And again, I'd like them to be reasonably random, not in lines. So there's a few left. All right, make a space. My glue gun. Yeah, this side's going to be a little bit tricky. Kind of make a circle there for it to sit on. A little bigger. Yep. Gonna have to do that, I think, for those ones. These ones I can just go on flat. And they're just ideal, really, rather than trying to... I was using bookboard, but it's, quite hard cutting the board. Depends if you want to get bigger ones. And you can use a bigger book and do it that way. Just wants to be a little bit less in a line. Okay, let's get rid of those. It's a bit messy, a bit fiddly. If you can afford to buy your mark making tools, then go ahead. Actually, I want to put that way rather than making them, but it's fun to make your own. I'm enjoying it. This way. Okay. And of course, if you make your own, you're going to get things that no one else has, because no one's going to use the same thing, are they? It'll be fun trying them out. Okay, fairly random. Part of the seal. There we go. Bit of tape on the back. Another one. So they're so easy to make, and you know, we're going to get lots of random marks, and there's some nice big ones there. You're going to need them to be the same height. So there we go, there's a few big ones. I wonder whether we've got some ones where we can make a variety of, so they're too not as high. I think that one's the same height. These the same height? No, they're too low. So if they're not the same height, it's probably not going to work. So these are orange juice or whatever. Now they've got little patterns in them. Yeah, I think I might like them all to be that way around. I'm going to have to collect more so that I can maybe do one way, one the other way. So I've got some big circles too, so I don't know whether I've got a big piece of cardboard. They're the same height? Not quite. Okay, just those. So 4. Do I want a stamp that's just 4 circles? I just don't know if maybe I want them all to be, so we get these big circles, bigger circles. We've got a few circles, so I'm going to leave that one for this time. When we get the gel plate out, I might try those out and see which side I like better, and I can always make those later. I've also made from straws, so I just need to put lifters on the back. Straws, straws you can just cut them at whatever pattern you like. I've got these flowers, I don't think I've used those yet. I think a butterfly fell off. I might fill this one up so that it's not so easy to get the edge. So, which were these? I picked up these little trays of chipboard items from Kmart, I think. Kmart or Big W. And so there's all these flowers, so they're all the same height. So we're going to put some butterflies and more flowers on here to fill it up, because I don't know why I didn't go to the edge, but I didn't. Alright, let's glue those on, but I use gel medium. If I use glue gun now, I think it'll raise them up too much, so we're going to put these on with gel medium, so that they're the same. Okay, so I have to leave that one to dry. Alright, let's put that to the side to dry. I have to also do a lifter thing. Then there's these butterflies. They're very cardboardy. I've got a small coaster here. Might just put those couple on, maybe with the flowers the same height. I think so. Maybe just a couple of flowers on this one, and see how that goes. Let's put it all over the coaster. Okay, let's just pop those down. A little bit extra where we're fills up the holes. And then this one's just going to go straight on there. Make sure it's on, because this is actually really quite, this is actually really more like cardboard. These are more like chipboard. I think I might just try to give it a bit of a coating. Seal it a little bit. I'm not convinced that these are going to hold up all that well. But they've got a bit more space in them, so they might make a better imprint. Oh, that one was broken. The one. Let's put that one away. I'd rather have a whole flower to start with. I mean, it might not imprint perfectly, but I'd still rather have a whole flower. Otherwise, it'll bug me every time I use it. Yep. Might not be the best ones to use. Chipboard ones will be fine, but these just happen to be in like a pressed cardboard almost. All right, so we've got that one done. Have we got any others that I want to make from the goodies we have here? So I know I've got a lot. I've got those chipboard letters. I think I've already done one with those. See, these ones I made, I haven't used, but I know what's going to happen. These are going to give me an edge. So I do really need, I am going to need to cut off the edges of these. So let's just see if I can, it's book board. So, oh, that's okay, yeah, cuts off. Let's cut the, to try and stop it from printing the lines from the edge of the book. Might work better. All right, same with this one then. And then it might be time to clear it up and play with the gel plates. See, we might actually cut around it. Actually, I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but we're going to try. As soon as it lets me cut. See if we can get it that we don't get the edges. Let's see how that works. Sort of a bit trial and error, isn't it? Okie dokie. Quite the jumble we are in. I'm going to clear up, turn the glue gun off and make a space, and we're going to do some jelly printing. Hope I can fit it all on one video. If I can't, this will be the end of part 1. And the jelly printing part will be part 2. I was just editing the video with making of these jelly print, what are they, mark making, stamping blocks, what are they called, print blocks? I'm not too sure, I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, these things that you use to stamp onto your jelly print and make marks and imprints. So these are the two that I had already made, and all I did was trim them down and put the things on the back. And I have used these, you know, in making some jelly prints. The squares I used in my geometric doodle challenge that I just did recently, and the triangles. So the jelly prints that come in part 2, I used in the doodle challenge. So, and they turned out really well. At the time I didn't really think much of them, but they were perfect. I didn't do them deliberately, but they were perfect for the geometric doodle challenge that we did just recently. Leigh from Leighs Art Studio and I had the challenge. So check those videos out, where I actually used the imprints from these plates. So these are the ones I made on camera. That one I'd already made, and all I did was add a thing. These were just from little foam circles. That was foam squares. These were little round wooden pieces, possibly like drafts pieces, but you know, very small, so I'm not too sure. It might have been a travel draft set, I'm not so sure, but you can see they've already been used. But yeah, the lifters worked fine. The glue is held on these pieces very solidly. They're not even thinking about falling off, so the glue was really good on that. These were the circle ones. I have used these too, can't remember how they worked out, but yeah, you've got the, I can see there's paint on the rims, so you'd get open circles and closed circles, so we'll check that out. In the next video I'll use some of these. This is the texture plate that I did with glue. The only thing that bothers me is it's got some sharp edges, so I'm thinking not to press it onto plastic. It might work okay with the silicone, but yeah, just make sure you don't have anything sharp to press onto your jelly plate. That's probably okay. All right, and then this one we also made. One has fallen off because I couldn't get as much glue on that. Next time I would hold it with some pliers at this gap here, and so I could get the glue on, but I was worried about burning my fingers, so that one obviously didn't get enough glue. It's fallen off, but I've got more of these, so I can glue. Next time I make one, I can glue those back on. I'm not going to turn the glue gun on just for that. Yeah, this is another one we made, but you can see how we've got paint on the edges. That means that it did impress down onto, you know, and make edges. So again, you want to either go over the edges with pieces or trim your cardboard closer to it so that it doesn't, as you press, because this coaster is more flimsy, so the flimsier cardboard will press down. But these ones made from the, you know, pretty much wood really, don't bend, so you just get the surface here. There's no paint on the edges, so that worked quite well. There is some paint on these edges, I can see. So yeah, the height of this is probably not quite high enough. I did make another one with glue, but this one was definitely, the glue is not high enough, so it's made, you know, the paint's collected on those patterns. So if you do the glue gun one, just try to make the ridges quite deep so that they don't you know, otherwise you're going to get these patches. So that one probably didn't work too well. We'll have to see. I can't remember, I did this quite a few weeks ago, and so the next part is going to be using these to make jelly prints. I'll just show you the rest of the plates that I had made prior to this to give you more ideas, things that you can find in op shops, sometimes maybe supermarkets, craft stores. Here we haven't got that many craft stores. We've got Spotlight, but there's also Big W and Kmart and Target. Not so much Target, but Big W and Kmart here. They've got some quite cheap craft supplies. So I've got these little matchsticks, but again, I think I used gel medium for my first lot. This would be better with the glue gun, I think. So these ones are falling off, so yeah, you just need slightly better glue. I think glue gun would be better for that. This is just corrugated cardboard, but just give yourself a lifter. So I've got corrugated cardboard of different sizes. Plastic straws, which now are hard to buy, but these are falling off. So again, that was gel medium. Don't know how they'd go with the hot glue gun because they're plastic. They might just melt, but that might make them stick better. But that was quite good until they're sort of now falling off. But I've made a few different straw patterns. Yeah, see, they're all falling off. So gel medium not working for the straws, but I'd recommend trying with the glue gun or using paper straws. I've got some paper straws. You can't get plastic straws now anyway, so these were just in a really, really, really old packet I had, but you wouldn't be able to buy them now. So they kind of not working. I had these leaves. I don't know where the rest of them are. I got a packet from an op shop. They're just like metal, tin, but they're smooth, so they're okay. Just make sure there's no rough edges. And so that one makes a good leaf print. So I just used one, and I can dot that around. So I've used that one. Any of the numbers that you get that are too thick for, you know, collage, these are chipboard. So I want to just random numbers. You can see some paint did get in here, so pressing down does, you know, make it, you know, I might want to fill it up a little bit better. I don't know. This one's just you know, another just random letters. That one worked quite well. Quite happy with that. More letters. So these are just chipboard letters that come in little box of them, and yeah, as I say, big W, that must be Big W, I think. And then yeah, same, there's these pieces. I think I did get some pieces from Which Craft Do You Do, an Australian craft site that you can buy bits and pieces from. So I don't know which came from which, but I got this little set of birds, and I've added the flowers, so they were separate, two separate sets. But yes, these kinds of edges, because this is on bendy cardboard, so these will catch the paint, so I might need to just trim around those a little bit more. So I made those, and then these flowers, I'm not too sure whether that was before or after, but I just randomly put all the flowers on one. This was just a piece of chipboard I had in my stash. It did work, but if you press too hard, you're going to get an imprint in there. Oh yeah, so it has the out, so they're like stamps, but chipboard had the inside and the outside, so I can use either side, but I haven't got a lifter. So it would have been better if I'd have put these on two separate pieces, but at the time I didn't know that I should have a lifter. So you have to use your fingers, which means you get fingerprints sometimes on the edge. So that's tricky without the lifter. Works really well, happy with that. And then just a giant jigsaw piece, that works really well too for random shapes just one giant, or you can get smaller ones. And then before that, all those little chipboard flowers and things I had, I've made into, so I filled up that board with butterflies and flowers so that there wasn't too much edge showing. This one I had made previously as well from an old book board and pieces of chipboard that I had in my stash because I was never going to use them. They're just too thick to use in a journal, and I just don't make enough to use them on the covers. So great to use them up. And you know, this one was my favorite. I've added flowers now because the board was too big and it put the edges on, but it's too thick to cut, so I filled it up with the rest of the flowers and the butterflies. But one of my favorite ever gel prints, which I haven't been able to repeat yet, I used this. So I think this came from whichcraftdoyoudo.com. So wouldn't mind getting some more of that. You know, and these long leaves, I think these would be great to have as your, you know, printing blocks. The only trouble with this is an really old book board that was left out in the rain on front of someone's house. So now it's not flat. So that's probably not a great idea, because now you know, it's not flat. To keep flattening it down to use it, but I think it has worked. So there, loads and loads of printing, homemade, you know, homemade with stuff that I had in my stash, stuff, 3D stuff that's not being used, you know, in journals, all these letters and things that I got, which you can usually pick up quite cheap from your craft supply shops. Cardboard, these came out of the glue, not the glue, the paint that I'd bought. It was the sealings, the sealers, you know, stuff from op shops, the corners of a shelf, the protectors, foam, squares and triangles. There's some triangles. I haven't made one yet, but I've got triangles as well. So the only one that really didn't work out of all of that lot, the straws worked fine. It's just that the gel medium is not holding it, and they're just on flimsy cardboard. So that was probably my only fail to a certain extent. These are the first ones I made. So there you go. That is the all of the printing blocks, the homemade printing blocks that I've made. You can also get these kinds of things. So I bought this, I believe, at Kmart. Again, they kind of Kmart, Target, craft section, and yeah, I've used that. So you know, you can use stencils, of course, but you get the negative image, you get the spaces. With this one, you get the actual, you can stamp the. Lots of these chipboardy items are great to make your own printing block. In the next video, I'll use some of these plates, just basically trying them out. Nothing too fancy, but I did use some of them in my recent doodle challenge. You just never know. Sometimes you think, well, this jelly print's pretty ordinary, it's just got triangles on it, and it was my favorite piece from the doodle challenge. It was pink and just pink and triangles, and it just looks great to doodle on it. So who would have thought? You know, you just don't know when you make a print what you could use it for. It's great to have a good stash of jelly prints. Basically, I don't need scrapbook paper anymore. I just like using the jelly prints because I can print them on thinner paper. It's great for collage. Okay, enough rambling. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out part 2 where I test out all these plates, sort of stamps, I suppose. I don't know, printing blocks, I don't know what you call them, but basically the next video I'll be using a lot of these items and making some jelly prints. So stay tuned for that, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.